Shad, do you want to come in here? Nah, I don't wanna. Shad, there's a questionably aged girl wearing a little pleated blue skirt. Sorry, what was that again? Oh, I'm sorry, what was that again? Did you say something? I didn't know if you said. Oh, you fucking. This is a fucking trick. Sure, yeah, I'm usually open-minded with fantasy books, was always a big pulp fantasy reader, so I enjoyed a lot of trash, but Chad's style is just really not that great. No, it's like, it's badly written, right? And it's like corny, but like, I'm the same way. I've read like other pulp fantasy and stuff too, especially when I was younger, so like I kind of have a special spot in my heart for like trash, and especially if it's fun, which is what I was telling everyone earlier. But like, this book is just insanely fucking boring. Like, there's just so many parts where it's like, could you shut the fuck up? Just shut the fuck up and get to the next set piece, because I'm sick of you talking. I'm sick of you explaining stuff over and over and over. Paragraphs upon paragraphs upon paragraphs of the same fucking shit. Again and again and again. It's just miserable. I think I got rid of the next place. Tyler, can you fix the second part of Shad book? Yeah. Too many people were talking to me all at once. Shad's book would be infinitely better if it was first off shorter. Damn it. I missed that one. Give it. Give me just a second. This one's actually like an irritating guy to fight. Boom, boom. There we go. Okay. So obviously it needs to be shorter. But plot-wise is probably where most of the stuff... Okay, I guess I don't get that. Plot-wise is where most of the stuff, I think, really needs to be adjusted. First off, Dalen shouldn't be Daelus's younger self. He should just be literally Dalen the Bastard. He should be Dalen the Bastard, son of Daelus the Conqueror, right? And he should just be one of maybe like the 100 or 200 bastards of this prolific fucking rapist, all of whom are gifted with this piece of shit's powers. And then instead of having it be just this terrible fucking redemption story, you could have a deeper meditation on the nature of, like, you know, familial evil and whether or not certain aspects of bad personalities get put down, because he is like, he's got some weird like connection, you know, to him. He, you know, I don't know, he kind of like, he can hear his father's voice in his head. He's like one of the, like, he's one of like the 200 dark bastards, right? We'll just say it like that, who are from like this experimental thing that Daelis did when he was just essaying all of these people, girls included, in order to try to make like do some sort of fucking like eugenics program to make like the ideal super soldier, right? Which would fit in perfectly. These fucking guys are awesome. It would fit in perfectly with, you know, Shad's audience and stuff. You can do eugenics, and then they can enjoy it. You don't have to fucking make it all fucking lib, cuck, fucking happy bullshit like I would prefer. You can make it dog shit. Shit, I knew he was gonna hit me with that. And so, like, right, these 200 are whatever. A bunch of them died. Some of them have gone insane. Daelis specifically was overthrown, and the country's in chaos, right? And because it's in chaos, you know, there's like a bunch of people that are trying to get higher up and stuff, and the one thing that everybody's worried about is the last of the 200 bastards are coming to they're coming of age, where they're all going to be like 17, 18 years old, whatever, if you want to have it be like a fucking anime, and their powers are awakening because fucking puberty, I guess. Okay, you motherfuckers are shooting at me, and that's some bullshit. And so, like, he's like one of these guys. They're all like, all of them are either on the run from, or in the custody of the Archknights, who like obviously want to keep a fucking lid on this thing. because it's super dangerous to have a bunch of like level 10,000 fucking partially insane eugenics experiments running around with superpowers, possibly fucking dominating the world. And so like that can be the big focus, and like we'll have Dalen be one of them. And we find out that Dalen was raised by instead of like, bro, I am fucking having a conversation, you fat son of a bitch. Why are you motherfucker? God damn it. Dalen, was raised by somebody that was close to the king, right? He's like, it can be the Auric character. And I remember the king before he lost his mind. It's not just sickness that drove Dalus the Conqueror to violence. And so, like, the kid is, like, always just constantly worried that his, like, worst impulses are going to be, like, this thing that drives him fucking, like, over the top and stuff. And he feels like he's, he can't escape the shadow of his father. And then it can literally be, quite literally, the fucking shadow of the Conqueror, by the way. Because it's the literal shadow of a child trying to, like, understand his relationship with his estranged, unloving father, who, like, just made him and 100 other kids uncaring. So you can have that, and then instead of all this hyper focus on bullshit the entire time, you can have him meeting all of these characters from his father's past, some of whom remember him fondly, and some of whom were his most insanely deprived victims, and getting to understand them. And, like, why they hate his father and why maybe they hate him and don't care that he has, like, like, I'm not my dad. And say, I don't care, you look enough like him that literally I just want to see you die. I don't care. And, like, trying to understand, like, that aspect and, all of this sort of stuff. And the whole first book can just be the entire thing about the ship. And instead of him getting on the ship at the last second, have fucking Blackheart be this semi-sympathetic but clearly still kind of a fucking absolute shitheel bad guy character who takes Dalus in, takes him away from Eric, and where Auric is always being like, hey, you need to focus on, like, the kindness, and you need to be, like, forgiving of people. Dalen, who is just still a child and doesn't know better, can be like, fucking, I don't know, like, if I want to be kind to these people. Like, if I have these abilities, just like my father had, like, shouldn't I be using them to fucking kill evil people? Like, if an evil person died, and then you can have, like, a deeper meditation on the nature of, like, forgiveness and rehabilitation and, like, who should and shouldn't have, like, power over life and death. And as him and Blackheart get closer and closer together, he finds that Blackheart does do stuff that he cannot forgive. Blackheart does engage in slave trading. We don't need to have it be just a bunch of goddamn, like, SA victims all the time, because you can get the same point across by just having him be a slave trader, and he's like, well, this is the thing, but, like, I have all of these plans, and my plans they involve me having to do this kind of stuff for money, and, like, it's really, this is what the greater good looks like, Dalen. And he's like, no, I can't take that, and, like, they have their big fucking fight on the ship, right? And have it be this whole thing where his thing in the beginning was, I want to get out, away from this place, even though I'm one of these bastards, and I want to see the world. I don't want to be caught underneath the thumb of the Archknights and have to deal with their bullshit all the goddamn time. And so he gets to catch a middle path. He fights Blackheart on the ship, learning techniques, a mix of techniques. He learned how to fight clean from Auric, who was his father's trainer when they were kids, and, like, trained him how to do, like, good, straightforward, clean sword fighting. And from him, he knows all of these high-level techniques and how to, like, deal with battlefields and read people. But from Blackheart, he learns the darker side of interpersonal conflict and even of fencing. So from him, he learns how to pocket sand and fucking use his, like, cheating dueling gauntlet and stuff. And so at the very end, you can have this, like, two-spirited thing, right? Dalen the bastard, right? Who's got the sword, get rid of all the like heart bonded swords and shit. You can have that be some aspect of like empowering the sword. Don't have just the stupid purple goddamn sword. The sword in his right hand that he uses to fight with for justice is the sword gifted to him by Auric, which was his father's first training sword before he got rid of it for the blue sword of the Conqueror, which is the coolest thing. But on his left hand, he keeps the gauntlet of his brother Blackheart, his first real friend, his first real like not my surrogate father mentor, to remind him of like, I can be not just a bad guy, but sometimes you do have to go outside the bounds of the law to get stuff done. And sometimes you have to cheat to win, and sometimes cheating to win is worth more than fighting with honor and stuff and blah 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 blah. I think that's just like a fucking way better story, right? That's easy as shit. It's not even like something that hasn't been done before, but you can get everything that he wants to get across. You can get a little bit of the goofy ass fucking Mormon moralizing in there still. It doesn't have to necessarily be fucking kicked out, but you can still just get a fucking story across, have some pathos, and going from the first story to the second, you can do the fucking sunstone and the dark, and you can even have the like hoes turn into fucking succubi if they get dark fucking shaded and they're SA victims, whatever. And like have the second book going into the people that are trying to bring his father back. And oh, that's what the Shadow of the Conqueror is. Really, he's a shade because he didn't die. He fucking went down into the crypts underneath the castle, and now he is the shade. And he's coming back, and you are actually going to get the chance to meet your father, who is a more concentrated, evil, overarching shadow of somebody, which fulfills also the metaphor of what it's like to be a son in the first place, living in the literal shadow and figurative shadow of your father, as these people who are these fucking cultists tried to bring him back. Boom, there you got the second book set up. During this, you can introduce the Lauren character, who can be a cute girl in her like 20s or something, who's a little too old for Dalen, who has like a big fucking puppy dog crush on her. But, you know, if he's getting a little bit older, maybe they can like possibly have like a little moment as he trains between books, and then he's 23 and she's 25 or something, and it's less weird. You know, it's like, you know, I'm not the little kid. And then you can have like a really interesting romance and stuff as she contests with him becoming an adult. But she actually does have problems because fucking Dalus the Conqueror killed her parents, or even beat the fuck out of her, or like kept her as a slave, and she was part of this slave trade thing. And so she's got all these things. She's like, I see your father in you, but I see something else. And then you can have that duality of man, and it's not in the fucking like underneath the fucking guise of it being, hey, like everybody was fucking SA'd. This is the SA hour with fucking old fucking Little Dick Dalen and fucking Eric and all these other goofs. Man, you fucking really just punched me off the whole fucking world. And I think that would make a whole better book. That's two books in a series. The second book can be about him literally doing, it's just a ripoff of basically, it's just fucking Star Wars Part 2, but still kind of similar, you know what I mean? It meets his dad, and then he finds out his dad is really dead, and he'll never get to meet him. Here's book 2. He fucking goes and he trains, right? And he becomes known as Dalen the Bastard, Lord of the Skies. How fucking cool is that? Look, Shad, if you're listening right now, I know you just popped a full fucking halfie on hearing that. He's out there, he's in the fucking skies, floating around, going around, and he is a pirate's pirate. He fucking literally is robbing the local governments and shit because he thinks a bunch of them are unjust. Some of them are the ones that popped up after his dad was conquered. Whatever the fuck, that's what he do on a thing. But he also, you know, goes and he breaks up these slave trading guilds, and he's a sort of kind of, you know, gray figure, moral arbiter in this world that people don't know how to feel about. And he's got his own ship. He's got Blackheart's ship. He's trying to kind of like fix all the stuff that Blackheart did. Maybe Blackheart gave him like a final mission, you know, like, look, I know, he literally stabbed, like, with my heart in his chest. Blackheart grabbed my shoulder the way he had so many times before and said just these last few words. The note that you always saw me writing at night. It wasn't some love letter, like I said, to a girl in a distant port. It was just a goodbye to my sister, who was my half-sister to my mother. My mother never really liked me that much, but could you just deliver this letter to my half-sister for me? I want her to have it. And, like, as he hands it to Dalen, his little bloody thumbprints left on it, so Dalen's always holding this last, like, objective from his brother, which he could fulfill at any time, but he feels like it's going to be him really letting go of his brother, and he doesn't know if he wants to meet a half-sibling of somebody from his family and all that sort of shit. And the whole second one is him being this sky pirate and fighting one of the local governments as the cultists gain power, and then his dad does show up in the fucking second half of the book, and then he has to, like, ally with one of the arch knights, who's also a female bastard of fucking, whatever. It could even be the lady. That's, like, why they kind of have their on-again, off-again thing, because she's a little bit older than him and an arch knight, and she's also kind of supposed to be hunting him, but also she doesn't really want to because she thinks he's a cutie or whatever the fuck. And she's like, fucking, I like you. And they have this, like, will they, won't they kind of deal going. And then he has to team up with her to go and storm the capital. And while he's doing that, her ship is destroyed, and she's forced to choose, like, do I really want to be with the Arch Knights? Because I found out during all of this that they were empowering this cult. Oh no, all along, in order to, set up this fake Daedalus the Conqueror zombie guy as basically like a gigantic black flag in order to gain power during this, like, fucking whatever transition war that's happening. And, like, she decides to stay with him, and he's defeated his father, but now he's found the final big bad, which are these corrupt suborder of Arch Knights who are literally the most powerful people ever. And, like, he's got to go and, like, kind of use his authority as the fucking bastard, and as also, like, try to fucking unite the Sky Pirates in Book 3. Fucking, it's like the shadow of the Conqueror. Then we can have the Shadow of the Conqueror, Stories of Everfall. Then we can have the Rise of the Sun. Oh, that's so fucking corny. There you go, Book 2, The Rise of the Sun, Chronicles of Everfall, Book 2. And then 3, The Story's Setting. That's so fucking corny. The Story's Setting, right? His tale setting, whatever the fuck. And then, like, that's the third one. And the third book is just him, like, being out there and, having this, like, whole sub-government. I'm getting my ass kicked by these guys and just running around. I should have just said this stuff off stream, but having this little sub-government of pirates and stuff that kind of work with him, and he's learning a lot of stuff about, like, himself, because now he has to contend with the fact that instead of just being, it's always it's always kind of like, okay, or how to say this, it's always fucking, like, just him when he's on his own, he can make all these decisions and stuff, but he actually has to contend with politics and people that have different ideals. And there's people that are like, hey, we're not going to join you because we are the Slavers Guild and we fucking love doing slaves and shit. So, like, we're probably going to fucking ally against you, but we'd be your best fucking compatriots. And then he's like, do I want to make decisions like my dad did? Do I want to have this guy fucking assassinated so I no longer have to deal with his bullshit? And, like, this thing, that thing, this thing, that thing, and trying to figure out where all of it kind of leads. And at the very end, he does this big cumulative battle with all of the stuff that he's learned. And there you go. There's 3 books. Chronicles of Everfall. I wrote the whole thing for you. I'm the best. Fucking Tyler. Like and subscribe. Oh, hold on there. Grown mid-20s woman. We don't want hags in the story. Okay, but Shad wouldn't like this version of his book because of the lack of essay. I feel like I would have him at, like, a table while he's, like, doing, like, notes reads and just being like, okay, but what if, okay, now listen to me, what if instead of it being just normal slaves, what if it was child brides of, and I'm just going to say this, we'll call them the Carib people, and they're brown-skinned, and they wear, like, turbans, and they have child brides, right? And he's just got to slaughter every last one of them. I'm like, okay, we can't do that, because that's fucking insane, Shad. But I'm going to meet you halfway, and we'll say that one of the girls will say that something like that happened to her. I don't know if people will go for it, but I think we could try. I think we could try. Motherfucker, you just wrote a better novel series than Shad in like 13 minutes. You guys should check out my real shit. I'm telling you, I go hard. I write mad good. You're interested as fuck in that series now, aren't you? I think if he just made a history book of his world, it would have turned out way better. He did make a history book of his world. It's just narrated by the main character for fucking 18 hours. The thing that gets me is Dalen's opening monologue is ostensibly self-loathing, but he keeps repeating his own titles like he enjoys his own infamy, so it comes off unrepentant. It's absolutely true. It's like, yeah, the character is so fucking all over the place that, like, it is definitely, in my mind. So I used to be in true crime, right? I worked with true crime people, and so I've read tons of, like, you know, portrait of a serial killer type, like, manifestos and stuff. And his work unironically does sound like serial killer shit, and I'm not being like egregious in this assessment or trying to be like extra edgy or be mean to Shad. A lot of serial killers have like weird little pseudo-screed ideas like this that sound very similar. Like, you know, I couldn't help having to do what I did because, like, X thing, like, I'm just this kind of guy, I can't help it, like, blah 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 blah, like, of course I'm gonna do this. And, you know, like, there's a lot of, like, women want it and, like, misunderstanding people in, like, a general way that I think unironically that Shad might have a lot of, like, self-loathing or maybe even mildly sociopathic tendencies. You know, I don't know why it was caused or anything, and I'm not even saying, like, that's a value judgment, like, oh, Shad is a fucking serial killer. You heard it here first on the fucking Tyler live stream. But, ooh, hold on, sorry, I gotta kill this fucking dickhead. But yeah, like, yeah, how the fuck even? But yeah, a lot of the stuff that he talks about, it comes off like, I think really it is a self-insert character, because it's his... He doesn't... When he talks about the character with, like, his fucking little dude, you know what I mean? And, like, he's, like, doing his little choreography and stuff, there's no moment where you're like, oh, hey, are you going to talk to this guy about how this character is, like, a prolific rapist? Because it's cool you guys are doing choreography and stuff. But if she's the female character, I think she's supposed to be, she's this guy's rape victim? And it's just, this is a real weird thing to be doing at all. And I think, like, there's a lot of stuff where he's like, I enjoy this, or, like, I feel guilty about it, and I don't want to say it out loud. The whole vibe... There's a solution to it. You know what I mean? It's like a fucking, what do you call that? It's like the lament configuration from Hellraiser, where there's definitely some sort of answer to all of these issues, but I don't know exactly what it is. But I know it's bad, and I know it's creepy. Oh, I'm gonna get killed by this guy. Ah, fuck. And it's very strange. It's a very strange vibe in general. To write all this stuff and not have the kind of, like, sense of self to pull it out. Because it's like, this guy is literally repeating ad nauseum Shad's literal beliefs. You know what I'm saying? Like, things that he would actually, like, say the way that he would say them. Like, kind of, like, not using the voice of the character. So, like, that's strange. But then he's also saying this fucked up shit and doing this other fucked up shit. And it's like, Shad, are you trying to articulate, like, your own potentiality of salvation if you were doing this kind of stuff? It's a strange book, man. A very, very strange book. I would say, like literally I said, one of the most depraved things I've ever read, because I think it's 100% unintentional, like, how fucking weird it is. Dalen's body is 17. I wonder if that's technically to avoid him being a potential pedophile. That was the vibe I got, and it was never acted on, because the second they did that, it was strange. But he does talk about his that age dick getting boners all the time. That's a constant thing that comes up. It's really hard to just bring up as a criticism, because I don't want those words coming out of my mouth at all. But, like, that's a thing that happens multiple times, he's just like, yeah, man. Oh, it's crazy. I don't know what to do about being so young and having all of these, like, issues. Shad's one of those people who needs an actual friend who will critique him and help him grow as a person rather than the yes men he's surrounded himself with. Yeah, and I think that kind of goes into this thing too, is, you know, like all of the characters that exist around Dallas are characters that forgive him. Like, it is literally every character that is another main character is a character that forgives him or acts in, like, a sense of forgiveness toward him, you know? Or at least, like, distant, like, acceptance of his existence despite his flaws. And, like, these themes of that kind of pop up. So maybe it is, like, a vibe of him just being, like, you know, I want some, like, level of acceptance for who I am kind of thing. And, like, I want to feel forgiven or just, like, comfortable for that kind of stuff. Because I have, like, little creepy thoughts. And, you know, as an evangelical type of Christian, even if they're Mormon, guilt is just a natural byproduct of my entire existence. Ooh. When I'm paying attention, you guys don't have it. When I'm paying attention, you guys, it ain't fucking it. Do you think Shad has bedded his wife while wearing the Gambeson armor? I guarantee you he has tried to get her to dress up like Supergirl. That's I put fucking money on it. Also, there was a bunch of of things that old Dallas had said where he was talking about how he was sick of prostitutes and he'd made the prostitutes dress up in certain ways, and I just wonder. Nothing I can say, there's nothing sure, but it's just, I don't know. I wonder. The Give Yourself Goosebumps sub-series was my first exposure to Choose Your Own Adventures books. Those went fucking unfathomably hard. The Brigandine stays on. I need you to lay there, okay? And then you're going to hold this sword like it's too heavy and it's pinned your arms against the ground. Shad couldn't make it in Baltimore. Oh my god, I couldn't imagine. I'm surprised, unironically though, he's like Australian. I'm surprised he could make it in Australia. He has to have left. I think I heard he moved to Canada, which makes more sense. But Aussies are so fucking based all the time. Like, I couldn't imagine finding out an Aussie was just like, okay with him just fucking around. Oh, fucking Shad, you going on fucking sword fight again? Oh, look, fucking Shad's guy, he's going to fucking Ren Fair in his backyard. I'm trying to make a movie. Could you guys be quiet? Oh, no, Faye, don't worry about us. Fucking footy's on. We're out here for a fucking commercial. Having a fucking ciggy. Just enjoy the show. Do us a backflip then. It's terrible. God bless my Australians in chat. I'm so sorry. It's not as funny as I'm laughing at. It's so stupid in my head, though. I'm just thinking of I want to animate that like a Big Les show thing. You know? Oh, fucking... What's going on over there? Oh, it's fucking Shadiversity. He's fucking coming out here. He's going to fucking sword fight with that tree. Hey, why is he doing that? Got no fucking friends, mate. Yeah, don't make fun of him, Liz. He got no fucking friends. Got no fucking friends, Liz. Fuck.
Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe.